What will make America great? That's the question that got me started, and it's now become 5 episodes. I was thinking it was only going to be one. I think this is the last one. I don't know. Video one, I made the simple observation, partly inspired by the approach of Juneteenth on my calendar, that America won't be great until we face ourselves as we are, as we have been, and find real ways forward towards repairing things that we've done in a land that we stole after we arrived without permission, a land we built in large part by stealing other people to work on that stolen land. And then video two, based on some feedback I was getting from video one, I followed up with some thoughts about the difference between guilt, which is personal and direct, and responsibility, which can be shared and less direct, and the complexity of assigning responsibility for what past generations may have done. Who's responsible to do something? What might they be responsible to do? And for whom might they be responsible to do it? And that led me to touch the really complex, conflicted topic of reparations, which I imagine some may think is the thing that I think will make us great based on just the direction that these videos went. But it isn't. It was a natural step to take, so I took it. And I took it in 2 videos. Video three really was the whole review of our history and the fact that we have precedent in humanity and in the world for doing reparations in some form. Post World War II, interred Japanese Americans, American Indians, Hawaiians. And yet I made the point that for some reason we haven't really taken that up seriously relative to African American descendants of enslaved people. So that begged the question, why? Which I took up in video four. And I focused there on both the why we haven't done it for descendants of enslaved peoples and what should we do. And the why question, of course, has a lot of complexities of responsibility and of identifying recipients, who should do what and for whom. But I also suggested that there was an element, maybe an elephant in the room, of the abiding systemic racism that is in our socio-political environment. And then I raised the question of what to do about it. And I mentioned some of the pretty typical things of actually, formal apologies and acknowledgments and some form of redress and addressing of things. But I went back to the more difficult question of rethinking responsibility and all of that sort of thing. And then the even more difficult topic of suggesting that we rethink our concept of ownership. Here among us, personally, globally, ownership of land and things and possessions and money and time and self and all of that. And in that last point, I was trying to come back to the broader question of what will make America great. In fact, what would make humanity great. And it's more than the issue of reparations. That was like one example that sort of naturally emerged in the course of these conversations. So here I am in video five. All of that was introduction. What is it then, back to my original question, that would make America great? And it's not reparations. For one thing, there's a lot more to address. But there's also a prior thing, which is the most important thing to address first before attempting to do anything else, and which would even shape how we begin to think about something like reparations. And to get at that prior thing, that important thing, I want to pull a page from the words of Jesus, as Luke records those words in chapter 6, and I'll just read a section of that. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Speak blessings over those who speak curses on you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other. If someone takes your coat, don't withhold your shirt from them. Give to those who ask. And if anyone takes what belongs to you, don't demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. My summary of that in 3 words would be this: love, forgiveness, and generosity. So what to do? What will make America great? Well, The first step, frankly, is for me to cultivate this soil in my soul, in my family, in my friendships, among those who disagree with me and criticize me and criticize my posts, like in this series, relative to my own possessions and my time and my heart. The first step for America to be great is for me to be great in this sense of cultivating love, forgiveness, and generosity, because that's where it starts. It starts in here, in the heart. And of course, to take that step means to allow myself to see myself as I am, all the ways that I am not like that right now. That's self-awareness, and it's painful work. But then I imagine a world shaped by that, and I see how worthwhile that painful work would be. I imagine how differently our conversations about thorny and painful, complicated issues like reparations would go if we came to the table with love and forgiveness and generosity. I imagine other conversations about immigration, healthcare, Medicaid, a debate in a political campaign between two opposing candidates, our posts on social media. I imagine how everything would be transformed if we approached issues, and more importantly, if we approached each other from a deep, shared center, shaped by love, forgiveness, and generosity. And that is what I think would make America great. Thank you.